1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning. Probably the earliest we've ever recorded Mudblood podcast. As you can see, no William. As usual, he's late. We set times for him. He just doesn't do it. But anyway, while we're here, while I'm on my own, is your balls hairy? Have they been really warm and sweaty and really, really hard to deal with during this warm heat wave weather? I know mine's haven't. And the reason why mine's haven't is because I've used Manskip. Manskip 4.0 more. Straight in, wiped everything out. I was sitting cooler than a cat. Cooler than a cat that's just got off the hot tin roof and sat in his big swimming pool that's been supplied by Manskip. So yes, all you need to do, go on the internet, type in Mudblood 20 and we will get you 20% off. So you can sit like that wee cat in a cooler, cool as anything, with the shaved bollocks. Not only that, you get a wee bag, you get the ball toner, you get the moisturiser. It's all in. Everything.
Hello.
Good for you to join me. And trust me, it won't be as late as William. It'll arrive really promptly.
And it'll be less hungover as well.
And it'll be less hungover. So Manskip 4.0, Mudblood 20. Do your bollocks a favour. Get it done. Good morning, William.
Good morning, Mr. McDonald.
I tried an experiment this morning just to see what way it would work out, but you've arrived. You're here before 9:30.
What was the experiment?
Just to see if you'd be able to get out of bed and manage to.
Weirdly, I'm actually fine.
Are you only in bed a couple of hours?
I am.
I can see that.
It was one of those, you have a wee sleep for about 2 or 3 hours and then you're up again.
I thought you were maybe up all night because you made that wee video of the 12th.
I'm on the run, mate. I can't sit down anymore. Wait till the full thing's out, I'll get fucking done.
Yeah, definitely.
Welcome to the last ever episode.
You'll be moving. He'd be moving into West Belfast and changing his name to Liam.
Liam McThomas.
He'd be running for Sinn Féin within 6 months.
Weirdly though, no one's taking. I thought people would take that bath. No one's really taking.
Well, they can't take a bath because, in fairness, it genuinely wasn't due to done anything. All you're really doing is asking a question.
And also, anyone I interviewed, I messaged after, showed them the clips, and I went, "Are you alright for this to go out?"
See, by their answers, I thought there would have been anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. It's funny.
I haven't put it out fully yet. It's only on TikTok, one clip.
It's genuinely funny.
But the only one I got was someone being like, "Well, why don't you do this on St. Paddy's Day?" And I'm like, "Because it's not St. Paddy's Day yet. I will do it on St. Paddy's Day as well."
The thing about St. Paddy's Day, right, is that's slightly different than the 12th.
It's a little bit, but it's the closest thing I have to an equivalent.
And I'll tell you who made it like an equivalent was the students in the Holy Land.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, there is no parade on St. Paddy's Day as such. And it's not a parade. If it was a parade, it was literally like a parade of like costumes and dance. The parades here are very diverse. You'll have all kinds invited to do it,
So are ours, because we've prods from Glasgow,
what I mean is we would have Hindus and we'd have, asylum seekers. Everyone's invited that, and there's no bands. It's not. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
It's one of those. It's weird though, because from my background, people are like, "Oh, St. Paddy's Day's for everyone," and then I go, and you know me, I'm not the one that gets bothered by it. But if you were bothered by it, there's a lot of Irish flags, a lot of that imagery. I'm fine with it. It doesn't affect me in any way.
Right.
But I can see if you don't like that sort of thing, St. Paddy's Day wouldn't be for you. I don't give one fuck. Like, I like Dirty Old Town. I will dance under something but
they don't play that in the parades. This is my point.
Oh no, I'm saying if you go into the town and go on on St. Paddy's Day.
Bars.
But like you said, that's the Holy Land people.
Yeah, that's the Holy Lands people.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to go there and listen to a bunch of culties singing about the IRA on St. Paddy's Day, which has nothing to do with the IRA.
Yeah.
I mean,
St. Paddy
technically we should be marching up the road singing up to our necks in snake blood,
Yeah.
but we don't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean,
Snake blood doesn't fit the song. You need a 2-syllable.
do you know what I mean?
British
So-
blood.
No, but it's not, because it's not what it's about. St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. So
Yeah.
it's a saint's day. King Billy wasn't a saint.
Yeah. Why did the film need to bring in the story about the snakes? It was bringing in Christianity not enough, and they needed to sex up that story.
I think it's a wee paddy fact thing. I think most paddies have wee facts. I think what he was trying to say was, look, I've got rid of your demons. And the pagans in Ireland were like, what?
Yeah.
And he was like, it was sort of like the ones you interviewed in that video. And he was sort of like, right, you know what I've done? There was loads of snakes. Snakes were, what? What's a snake? A serpent with a big teeth in the bait, and they're like, fuck, I've never seen one of them. Oh, fuck, there's loads of them, especially Donegal.
Yeah.
I went up there, fuck, it took me weeks in Donegal, like, it rained like fuck up there. I was up there driving snakes, fuck me, the whole way from Killybegs right up to fucking Miss Point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just told fucking lies.
Yeah.
There is no snakes in Ireland. There never was.
So,
There is now.
a St.
Because
Paddy
people
fact.
maybe, you know what I mean, some Paddy fact. I don't even think he was called Paddy.
No?
I don't.
No, what do you think he was called?
I coined him.
Isn't that a school in the Ormo Road?
No, I think it's just like a word in Welsh. It doesn't make any sense. Do you ever look at Welsh language? Like, I know Irish is
I was
bad.
just say I look at it like Irish. I'm like, I
No,
have
but
idea.
like you'll have 20 Q's and then a W and then a P, and then they're like, that's side.
Yeah.
And I'm going, what? Do you know, it is really...
I was speaking to someone and their last name is like NIFHLOINNE or something. I was like, what's
is
that?
Jones?
And they were like, no, it's Flynn. And I was like, no, it fucking isn't. And they're like, no, it's Flynn in Irish. I was like, that phonetically just doesn't make sense to me. It's because I never spoke it.
The English
It's
language
insane to me.
is a very simple, flayed,
Yeah.
silly language for people that aren't that smart.
Well, is English not one of the hardest ones to learn if you don't already speak it? Like, because you'll have words that read the exact same and mean completely different things. Read and read.
So, like, colloquialized.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, English has so many words that you just need to know through speaking English and knowing English.
And you'll know.
And just, like, work out how the form
Yeah.
a word or how to form a sentence.
Yeah.
You need to know
Like, there are.
you're speaking it.
And there's words that look exactly the same on paper. And they're said differently. Like, read and read. Exact same word on paper, but you won't know that.
There and there.
It's not
there you
that
go.
structure to like,
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
So it's a bastard language.
Just fucking leave my language alone, Patrick.
It's a language. It's not technically yours.
That's why we all speak Ulster Scots.
It's not technically yours. And no one in this country speaks the proper form of it.
No, not one motherfucker.
No.
Anyone that does, you want to bully.
Anyone that does has that bullshit accent. Do you know that accent?
Hi, are you, Patrick?
It's like, is this cunt English or
Yeah.
where the fuck's he from?
Yeah.
Macaron. What? You're from where? Fuck off.
Horror. Those people, Keir Martin does a bit about that, where they just throw R's into things. People who speak
just
like,
wankers.
Horror, are you?
They speak through their nose.
Have you ever, like, because I know you worked in a joiner, you would have had to work with, like, some posh people sometimes. Have you ever worked for someone, like, madly posh? Where it's like a piss take of how posh they are?
Yes. Yeah, I did. I done a job for quite a few like that. And do you know what? See the super rich ones who always had money.
Yeah.
Like, I've worked in sir and lady houses, right? Doing sash windows and stuff.
Sash windows?
They're not, when they come from money, they're actually not as bad. It's the ones that didn't have money and then became that.
And they're the wankers?
They're the fucking, like,
See,
full
I'd
on.
think it'd be the one who's grown up with money and think I'm fucking
no.
big
See,
dick.
see,
No?
like, see the ones with money. Like, I'll give you an example. There was a house we were working on for my dad, and the man of the house like came for money, and on a Friday he knew that my dad and all the boys went for a pint, and he was like, "I really love to go with you for a pint." My dad and his mates brought him the po glass.
Where's this fucker from?
It was from Malone Road, like, you know. But he fucking loved it. Like, you know, it was like, oh my God, I did not know there was a place like this. You know, he's just fucking used to going to the yacht club or the fucking tennis club or something like that.
And then he's getting vodkas
He
for
got brought
£3.
to the Column Mill the fucking Friday night. He's got some paint pals at the wall. Yeah! He's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And he loved it. And he moved there. And he's a joyrider and all now. It's just no,
fully in the raw, yeah.
No, he went till Poglass of all places. I think my dad's mate brought him till the Column Mill, and he fucking loved it.
Have you ever taken me to Ponglass? I don't think
I
I've ever
have
been.
no need to take you to Poglass.
kinda
There's
watched it.
technically not a bar in it now.
Right.
You know,
So we
the
can
mill was
never play
the mill
Ponglass?
was the only bar in it, and it burnt down.
Because that's one of the few like mad places I've never played yet.
There's nowhere to play in it.
We can't do Ponglass.
There's nowhere really technically to play in
Yeah,
it.
anyone looking at us to take the tours to Ponglass gonna be
Do you know what I mean?
disappointed.
If there's somebody in Glenpawn just wants us to do their fucking change fucking communion or something.
I fucking love when we just get random messages from someone
Well,
from the middle of
do you know
nowhere.
what? The Coors, they live in Glenpawn. They probably would they listen to the show.
The
like,
Coors?
Not them Coors, not the singing Coors.
I was like, go on, go on.
Fuck, they really went down, haven't they?
Come to Ponglass. I was like, what the fuck happened to them?
Thunder only happens when the joyriders are right.
They were playing the Aussie 2 years ago. COVID hit them hard.
They're in Poglass now, Poglass.
All the bands living together for some reason.
2-bedroom fucking flat in Woodside. Andre Coors and OnlyFans. Just trying to get my ticket money.
These tits will leave you breathless.
Go on. That's my meter dinging. You just see her in the fucking OnlyFans and her fucking wee things going. Sorry, the murder latte.
Just hear the smoke alarm go off halfway through one of the videos. That's fucking mental. But who are the I keep saying the band now.
The Coors. There's Mickey the dad I knew growing up, and his brother and stuff, Neil. But his son Joe, Joseph's only 15 or something.
Yeah.
He's a big fan of the podcast.
Joe Kerr.
Joe Core.
Funny guy, is it?
Joe Core.
That's a
a
posh
Joe
guy
Kerr.
saying Joe.
Joe Kerr.
That's what that posh guy calls you.
He should be a
That's
comedian,
Paddy.
isn't he?
He's a Joe Kerr.
He's a Joe Core.
He's a big fan of this, is he?
Yeah. So they would let us do it. They would let us perform at their backers room.
Yeah. Just to say we've done Ponglass.
Just to say, I've done Poglass.
So have you been this week? I haven't.
Very warm, and
I know it's
Yeah,
great,
so-
isn't it?
I don't know. I don't like heat that much. I don't like direct sunlight.
No.
No.
What are you, a fucking gremlin?
I just don't like it. I don't know. Too much of it.
I think I'll need the tank.
But I'm not going to complain about it because I don't want to be one of them people saying, it's always fucking raining here.
Oh, is
Then
it?
you get a wee bit of sunshine. I fucking hate the sunshine.
Or one of those people, it's like, I just prefer the winter.
Can there not just
prefer being
I like the
freezing.
dark nights and sitting in a big bowl of stew watching Coronation
I
Street.
like when it's 3:30 in the afternoon, it's pitch black outside. That's lovely.
I hate that. I hate going to
depresses
work
me.
when it's black and then coming home when it's black. And I'm not racist. I'm just, you know what I mean? It's just
No, it gets me. That gets like through the months of like November to January. I'm very unhappy. Do you know seasonal depression? What's that called? Like seasonal affective disorder.
because you know that the 12th has been and it's not here for another couple of
Because I know
months.
St. Paddy's Day come, I'm like, fuck shit.
I don't know what St. Paddy's Day you've been to, but the St. Paddy's Day I go to aren't like that.
I go into town though. I go into town. Normally end up.
I remember when I was
points or
taxiing, walking through the town, and I heard all these ones singing like "Yeah, around" all this here, and I looked, and it was a bunch of the weirdest bunch of people ever. They were just a mixture, and at the back was a wee girl who was obviously Asian with a tricolour around her, and I was sort of going, she can't technically be shooting, and then she started squealing, Monica, have you got money for my black taxi? And I went, no, maybe she is. Sometimes you can judge a book. But it just seemed dead weird that she was shouting about the ra, and I was sort of like,
could probably just grew up in the West, you know what I mean? Asians can love the rat too, Patrick.
Fuck everybody. Everybody's impartial to a wee bit of something.
I do enjoy going out on St. Paddy's Day because, as you know, me myself, partial to a Catholic woman, and that's where you'll find them. Patrick.
So that's your picking. That's
fish
picking.
in a barrel that day.
So you're dressed up as a wee leprechaun that day, aren't
I'm
you?
I see that girl with the tricolour around her. I'm behind her like.
You should just dress up as the wee leprechaun from the Lucky Charms and just have a wee box and go, do you want some cereal?
No, I'm trying to remember. There hasn't been one to go out to in the past 2 or 3 years, obviously, because of
Paddy's
COVID.
Day, COVID.
So I'm down to go out on it again. Although I'm too old now.
Too old. What
think
age are you?
25. This might be my last.
What to go out? It depends where you're going, like.
Aye.
Don't be knocking about with all
Youth clubs.
Aye, like, you know what I mean? That needs knocking ahead.
I'm outside primary schools. Am I too old to be in?
Is there any under 18 discos hanging about there?
Yeah, too old to be there. But I'm getting borderline now. When I go into if I go into a nightclub, I'm not too old to be there, but I'm the oldest there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm one
Are you talking
receding
about
hairline
Thompson's,
away.
like?
Thompson's definitely fuck me.
You're too old for
You're
Thompson's.
too old to be in Thompson's if you're 21. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I only stopped going 4 years ago.
did you actually?
I told him, I says, bar me. Like, fucking, you see me
I
coming in.
fucking knew you back then.
If you see me coming to the door, just don't let me in.
So you getting off at the stage at the pub and being like, "Come on, boys, bummer."
No, it wasn't even like that. It was just like a random ones, you know what I mean? But the
You're out
last...
and then you just go like, "Fucking, let's keep this going." You end up in Thompson's.
Yeah. I was playing catch up. I was actually on Warren Point. I came back to a 40th birthday party and I went, I need to play catch up. And I said to the barman, give me something that'll get me as drunk as these fuckers right now. And he gave me a pint of something and the rest is history. I just woke up to a lot of videos and messages from my friends' children saying, seen you in Thompson's last night, you know?
You definitely couldn't do it now. You couldn't
No,
get
it
away with being
would
in
be the
Thompson's.
grandchildren
Yeah.
of my friends now would be,
Yeah.
here's my grandest mate.
That's or they just be, that's fucking that's party from a podcast.
Oh,
Because that's what I get when I go into town. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm the one every cunt hates, but fucking go into town, you wouldn't know that. Like, it's fucking great.
God, you don't think they fucking...
No. I was on the Empire last night too, and I said, to
How'd
her,
it go?
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Best one I've had in there.
Was there a big crowd?
Yeah, full. And you know what that room's like. Can be hard if it's not full. Yeah. If it's full and you're a decent
Oh, you're
comic,
flipping fly, like.
you're flying.
Brilliant.
So I'm emceeing it next month.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Brilliant.
That's a no. Mudblood just taking over Empire now with the MCs.
Just call it the fucking Mudblood fucking Empire Comedy Club.
But I was on with Murph. I had never gigged with Murph before. And I said to him, I was like, oh, because my nanny doesn't give a fuck about anything I do in the comedy. I did the Odyssey and she didn't even fucking blink, didn't care. Told her I was on with Murph and she shit herself. She was loving it. And I told him, and he was like, I didn't realise that it sounded quite cunty, but I was like, oh, my nanny's buzzing that I'm on with you. And he was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Used to be your Mars, now it's fucking grannies.
You said the wrong thing, right?
Yeah, I didn't mean it. Like, he took it well. I didn't mean
Did he fuck a simmer frame at the wall?
Yeah. He forgot about it 30 seconds later anyway. So
he says, where's my lunch?
I'd never met him before. Very funny fucking guy.
Very, very good.
Very funny. Very nice as well.
Yeah, no, he was a nice guy.
Because we all know each other, the ones we came up with or we gigged with. I don't really know the generation before. I'm not making them sound old. Just the generation.
Like, Murph, you're technically 3 generations up the fucking ladder, or like, it's sort of like, you
I
know,
don't know all these old
he's like one of them ones. He's sort of, who would he be like in footballing terms? Who was still playing?
Oh, he's like an Abramovich. He's still playing like he's like 52. What's the name of the Italian player played until he was like
Buffon?
46? Buffon was old, but maybe Maldini or
He did play till he was old, but I don't know how.
maybe I can't remember who it is.
Stanley Matthews played until he was 50 odd.
52.
Who'd Stanley Matthews play for?
Blackpool.
Fuck me. Played till he was 52. And that was an old footballer, not like, you know, these days they're like, oh, I'm 48 and they're still young and they're fucking healthy. That was a fags and pints.
Oh, you were finished by
having
your
a Chinese
25
after
back
training.
then. Oh,
Yeah.
George Best, 18 to 25, done.
Yeah.
Career.
It used to be, I remember Frank Lampard was 28 and they're going, oh, he's over the hill now. Do you know what I mean? That's that.
Matthews was probably a brickie at the same time.
Yeah. But
Probably.
that's that age, and he was playing till he was 52.
52.
Fuck me.
I know.
Still in the Premier League, like, or wherever Blackburn
I
played?
don't think there was Premier League back then.
Or what was it called?
The
Division One?
Premier League only started in like 91,
90, yeah.
92. Were you born then? Nope.
No. Neither was Sean.
And it freaks me out, but sometimes
Because that's it. To me, the Premier League's always
I'm not
been
going to mention who it is, but there's a mate of mine, right? And he's an actor, and he was in America, and he went with this girl in New York, and freaking went out for a night out, met her, and then the next morning they were sitting talking, and she was like, "Have you ever been in New York before?" And he was like, "What? Fuck I." Like, I
Is he
remember-
that little Asian guy from the Holy Land?
she was like, she says, tell him, what was it, about New York or something like that? And he says, like, at the fucking World Cup in 94, I fucking, like, New York Jets fucking stadium, fucking Ireland beat fucking America, or Ireland beat it, and fucking, here's was the what? And he was like, 1984, do you not remember fucking Ireland beat fucking it? And she was like, I wasn't born. And he was like, what?
And that's most people when they speak to me.
He near fucking shit. He was like, what do you mean you weren't born? She was born in 95 or something. And he was like, fuck.
Big Kieran loses his mind with me because he's like, do you not remember, like, fucking
Emo.
1996? I was like, I wasn't born until September in that year. And he's like, fuck off, mate. Wasn't that the World Cup? Diana Ross hits like a big penalty and just fucking whiffs it, but the fireworks go off anyway.
Fuck, I don't even know.
In the opening ceremony, it's quite a
I
famous.
didn't see it.
So it's like this big, like, you know what the Americans are like, big ceremony to open the World Cup, and it was meant to be capped off of her like whacking a penalty into the net, which sets off fireworks, and she just fucking completely misses the net. Fireworks go off anyway. Never seen that?
No.
I'm gonna find this.
I'll see it later.
So it's not that important, but it's really not that important. But I want to show
Diana Ross.
I want to show you Diana Ross hitting
Of all the things you've seen from that World Cup, that is the one thing
That's
I
everything
haven't
I've
even seen. I don't give a fuck about.
Diana Ross.
Show me Ray Houghton sticking the ball in it against the fucking Italians. That or some shit. There was fireworks went off in the fucking falls that day.
Did they beat Italy at that World Cup?
1-0 now.
Well, how far did they get in it? I don't know.
They got till the next knockout stage after the group stages. So they went out of the group, but they got knocked out
Round of 16.
just before the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
Round of 16.
Yeah.
And they got beat in the round of 16. But the 1980 World Cup, they got till the quarterfinals in Italy. And I remember that. That was in 1980. And they got beat by Italy, who went on to fucking win it, I think.
Aye. It was their home country too.
Yeah.
Fuck. See, to be fair, when like Northern Ireland as well, but like Ireland too, whenever we get to the World Cup, we know we're not winning it. So any game we like even score in, we're like,
it's a bonus.
Fucking yes, there we go.
I remember as a kid watching it, thinking like, oh fuck, we're amazing. Looking back now, going, holy fuck, we really were like in a nightclub bar and shouldn't have knocked them first day cunts out. And then eventually get knocked out.
Yeah.
No.
Do you remember Northern Ireland beat Spain 3-2 in about 06? Mm-hmm. And that's a game when I was younger. Like, Northern Ireland's brilliant. Watch it back. You're like, fuck me, Spain missed a load of sitters there. Like
the Northern Ireland England match, and Healy fucking scored and the 1-1-0. You watch that back, like, England could have scored 20.
England were shite that
But they
night.
still could have scored 20,
Yeah.
and it just didn't go in for them. Like, it was
Yeah.
one of them matches where...
And we have a mural of that painted in East Belfast. It's a big match. Looking back, it meant fuck all.
Yeah.
It was in a World Cup qualifier that we were already eliminated from, and they were already qualified.
And everybody's going, you beat England.
Yeah.
We've been fucking trying to do that for years, lads. What the fuck, like, why are we fighting here?
We loved it. That's what we were like, you fucking
Get
English
into them.
bastard. I have one uncle who, above Northern Ireland, supports England. And we all watched the game with him, and the fucker no one saw him for a week after. He was fucking
disgusted.
tortured the whole time.
He's proper old school him, isn't it?
He's not
Does
even.
he dress up as an English knight? No.
He's not even proper, like, big pro guy. He just supports the England football team above anything else. And that, to me, is a fucking disgrace.
Yeah.
That turns my stomach.
My brother-in-law actually supports him a bit, and he's got tortured about it.
Yeah, he should do. Especially with,
Well, he's
your
not from
background?
West
No,
Belfast.
no. I thought he was some dude
No, he
from
grew up-
Davis,
he grew up-
just supporting
he grew
England.
up in Malone, but what happened was he watched the whole '66 World Cup and stuff, and they were sort of middle of the road people. So
How old's this fucking guy?
60 odds.
Right. I thought he was like your age.
He's 23.
23. I was like,
Time
I've just
traveller.
learned about 1966, guys.
No, he watched as a kid. So
Aye.
it's one of them once he watched that World Cup, so he's seen England, so he sort of supported them from that.
That's.
We tortured the
I can understand that a little bit more than my uncle who just likes them. Do you know what I mean? I can at least, you grew up
I
with
sort
that.
of get it because you know all the players.
Yeah, yeah,
So if you're a fan of a team in England,
yeah.
a lot of your players is going to play for them anyway.
I suppose I'm a bit of a hypocrite. When I was younger, I was a big Chelsea fan, so I was idolising Terry, idolising Lampard when they're in the Chelsea kit, and then they throw the England top on. I'm like, fucking dirty bastards, get the load of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just, do you know what? It's not even the team, it's the fans. And I do this on stage all the time. English people don't get how fucking annoying they are when it comes to football.
They're like when you go. Do you know when I worked in England, they weren't as bad as what I had experienced as a kid in like Spain
Yeah.
and seen them like in full tilt.
When they're poolside going nuts.
Fucking England,
Yeah.
you know it. And
It's
you're like,
7:30 in the morning, mate.
what
Shut
the
up.
fuck, like
Yeah.
But I think we're just seeing the dreads there. I don't really think you're seeing
Did you meant to say the dregs?
the dreads.
Just seeing the dreads?
Will you stop?
Just
Fucking
Jamaican guys.
with what I say.
I can't help it. It's so funny to me.
Fucking shoehorn.
You
Willie.
make fun of my wee hand. I make fun of how you speak.
And they just see them and they're like cunts. But see, when I was in England, they weren't.
That bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they weren't like.
Suppose that the worst I ever saw them, I was at the Euros in
So
2016.
you see them in their worst. Like you think about it.
Horrendous.
That's like you seeing England fans is probably what it's like for us seeing people at the 12th.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
Because the people at the 12th wouldn't normally go and sit on the side of the road with a carrier and their kids and the granny and the granda and everybody from the family and deck chairs and just fuck the rubbish all over the floor and sit
Yeah.
and drink at fucking 11 o'clock.
I love that. I love that. Look at all the litter. Yeah, like that's the only thing that gets
No, but
litter in
I'm
the
just
country.
saying, like,
Yeah.
that's pulled out.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that everybody that was there does that every day.
No.
Do you get what I'm saying?
If
when
we
you-
could, we would. But no. See, when we were in the Euros, I remember just because our fans,
aren't like that
no, but we were like,
from both sides.
Yeah, both sides,
But that's
both-
what I'm saying. Like the Republic and the Northern Ireland fans, they were well fucking took.
yeah.
Because it's just
Because bars, when you go in, they're like, no English, and we're like, Irish, mate. They're like, in
the
fuck now?
All they
Like-
do is buy drink, but they don't rack a place.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We actually, have you ever seen the video of us cleaning up? Like after there's a bar, it's just messy, and we're all steaming.
Because like Rangers have a real bad fucking name for that too. Like,
Oh, do they?
oh fuck, seriously. When they get into Manchester for the the Europa Cup final, the fucking wrecked Manchester, like fucking wrecked it.
Good.
And why?
Actually, no, I like Manchester, but still good.
But like they have that.
Let
name,
them know
like,
you were there,
like
boys.
the English fans,
Yeah.
Rangers fans have that. It's like the same thing.
Just English guys going
Where it was like
where'd you get the like
Rangers, when Rangers win their Europa Cup final this year, like they technically had Souness and all past and Ali McCoy still come like going, now go over to the final, lads. Enjoy yourself.
Be good. Ali McCoy, that's a guy I'm not a big Rangers fan, but I can appreciate that he is. Do you know what I mean? Like, he fucking loves them. And I admire him for it.
A lot of success and he was a brilliant player.
Yeah. But like even when the club was doing shit, he was like, I'll do the manager job, and he did it well. I do enjoy, like, he's like Roy Keane with United. He can get upset with him because he's so fucking passionate about it.
Right.
And I like that.
And he's a great commentator as well. Like,
Yes.
He's a very good commentator,
He's
very
very
good.
funny. He's a
Yeah.
funny guy, like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's a likeable fella.
Yeah.
Do you know, even though I'm
Same
a
with-
Celtic fan, he's a likeable guy. Like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
waste ill on him
It's the
or
same as
anything.
Neil Lennon with Celtic. I'm like, he's so passionate about it. I'm like, even though that wouldn't be my team, I'm like, I just appreciate that. I enjoy anyone who's just like, this is my club. I bleed this club. Don't give a fuck about anything else. Do you know what I mean? Like Shearer with Newcastle. If Newcastle's beat Blackpool 1-0, Shearer's fucking sitting there match of the day buzzing. Do you know what I mean?
Gary Lineker with Leicester.
That was one of the sweetest. He was so happy.
And he says, if they win the league, I'll do it
Yeah.
with no clothes on.
Yeah.
And he had to do it with no clothes
Just did it in his underwear. Same fair, that would be funny if me or you had to do that, but
Yeah.
he's like still in really good shape, so it was just him looking fucking shredded on match of the day.
on. It was like Love Island on BBC
Yeah.
One.
He was like, oh yeah, I've had to get my fucking abs out here. Sorry guys. That was one of my favourite underdog things. Like a cup run for an underdog, that's one thing. But to win
win a
the
league.
league, because that's consistently being
Imagine
the fucking
having
best.
money on that. Like there was a Leicester fan that had money on that, 5,000 to 1.
And you know, at the start of the year when he did, everyone was like, what a waste of a fucking tenner, dickhead.
He does it every year. I
Oh,
don't
do-
even think
they
it's a
always do
tenner.
it?
I think it's 100 quid he puts on them every year.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck, 500,000 he got off that then. Bet the bookies were.
I think they actually give him like 485,089p or something because he couldn't actually technically get the 500,000 because of the balance laws or something. There was something ridiculous where he would have got the same money if he would only put 25 quid or something on. Someone was saying this. There was like a limit on what he could win.
This is why I don't gamble. Because there's so much out, like bookies just want to fuck you.
Oh, why?
You're not a betting man either. Are you like me? There's like certain things you'll bet on. Like if the Grand National's on,
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
bet
like
on the
that.
Grand
Yeah.
National. Or if a World Cup or the Euros are on.
See, even at that, I stopped football bets a long time ago because it's just fucking, I'm not that good at them.
It's even half me.
I had a wee £5 one yesterday, and it was like all wee stupid things, you know, this, that, and the other. And I think one thing beat it.
Yeah, see that. Oh, that
And
kills
it was
me.
like,
I remember my dad had this mad accumulator on one year, and it was like loads of like fucking 8 teams, and they all came up apart from one game.
Yeah.
But it was winning like 2-1. It was on the 92nd minute. They told my mum, he's like, "Way up and get ready. We're going out for dinner." She's sitting there all dolled up. She spent the hour getting her hair done, all makeup, came down and go out, and then they equalised just as they're about to leave the house. And they had to be like, "Right, we're not going out now."
that was it.
And that's why that story, I was like, "Fuck, I'm not betting."
No.
Do you know what I mean?
put you off it for
It really
life.
did, yeah. My mom's sitting there like all dolled up, like, all right, we'll just get a McDonald's probably. All right. Do you know what I mean? It was just so deflated. It was so sad.
I'm waiting for this horse coming in. This horse comes in. You're getting a fucking Chinese
fell.
in it.
Yeah. It was one of those. But even now at my age, I have people like fucking, do you know what I mean? You're sitting in a pub with your mate, and he's like, oh, like all buzzing. You're like, what are you waiting on? He's like, oh, Burnley at 3 corners, I'm flying. I'm like, Jesus Christ, mate.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? I understand that even just betting on 5 score lines,
You can bet on a pigeon on the pitch during the match.
fucking everything now.
Bet
Everything.
on fucking Lithuanian under 22s.
Yeah.
Fucking netball.
You can bet on like Love Island winners, which I never understand though. When we're like, oh, this guy's like 20 to 1 in the bookies to win Love Island. Who's doing that? Who's sitting in the bookies being like, come on, Adam,
He's a lot hotter.
get
than the other
recoupled, get recoupled. Oh, you bastard, he's out.
Referee, fuck's sake.
You know what I mean? Sweating over the
There is
results
people,
of Love
but
Island.
I had mates that would bet in 2 fucking raindrops going down a glass window, like, and they would. I've seen,
And they spend good money on it.
seen it getting ridiculous. Where like we've been on bus runs, and it got to the stage where we couldn't even play cards anymore. So it was a flip of a coin for 100 quid and all. Like it just,
Fuck me.
just like ridiculous stuff. And you were going, what the fuck, like.
That's mental.
But the maddest one that happened to me was I was over doing a gig for Hamilton Football Club. Heskey was doing a bus run to Glasgow, so he sent me a message, said, "Here, I'm over doing a bus run. Do you want to meet up before the gig?" And me, aye. And he came and met me, and I says, "I want to go to the Bookies and do the Irish Lotto, because I do the Irish Lotto every week." And he says, "Right, there's one round the corner, William Hill." We went in, we're sitting there, and he's looking at the horses, and he says to me, "See that horse? It won that race last year. It's 25 to 1. He says, "It's a good chance to win it again." And I went, "Right." Because I know nothing about horses.
No.
And he says, I'm gonna stick a few quid in that. And here's me, right? He says, do it each way. I mean, what are you sticking on? And he says, 50 quid each way or something, or 25 quid each way or something. So it was 50 quid he was doing. And I went, I'm not fucking putting that on. And he goes, well, what are you going to do? Hear me. I'll stick £20 on each way or something then. So hear me. I wrote it out, went up, done it. He done it. We're sitting there. False start in the race. But the other horses nearly done the whole fucking race. It was a straight run. It wasn't a jumping horse.
Just straight.
Just straight. And they technically done the whole race and got pulled back, and it didn't. And then it went again, and he just about won it, but he fucking won it. So me and him bouncing about the bookies in fucking Glasgow with fucking, I had 20 quid each, he had 50 quid each or something on it. We were bouncing about, 25. Here was even better still. He says, it fucking went out to 33-1. Fucking brilliant, right? And I'm going, fuck, I wrote the price on the ticket. He went, you stupid bastard. Why did you do that for me? I don't know. So he says, give me the 2 dockets. I'm going to put them down, take a picture and put it into the WhatsApp group. And I set the docket down. He just looked at my docket and went, you're a stupid cunt. Put his hand in his head. I mean, why? And he was, look, I didn't write the race. All I wrote was the name of the track and 25-1.
You fucking idiot.
And he just went, fuck's sake. He says, I'll give you a couple of quid in a man or something. But he was like, hold his fucking head. I can't believe you done that. Hear me, will he not pay it out of me? No. He says, no chance. He says, you could go up and ask him, like, but, and here's me, I'm going to go up and ask him. And I went up, I swear to fuck this happened. And I says to the wee guy, I fucked up right now, talking out. He says, oh, it's dead on. I know what race you were fucking talking about. I'll pay it out. And yes, he was just like, I can't believe he paid you out.
I wouldn't have even tried.
He said, Thirsk, 25-1. So I ended up getting the money. And he got his money, like, but he was just laughing, going, I can't believe he paid you out. It was like, horse, win.
Yeah.
Give us the money.
I'd have just left. I'd have been like, that's fucked. That whole thing.
And I got it. Like.
That's fucking mental.
And so it was fucking nuts. Me and him were running about with all sorts of fucking money in fucking Glasgow.
Did you have a good wee night out that night?
See, to be honest, it wasn't even that mental, because I had a gig in Hamilton Football Club, but him and my roommate Leo, they came to the gig, and it was terrible. It was like a women's night.
I want to fuck the betting story. I want to hear about this gig.
It was a woman's. It was like the Waves and all the women involved in Hamilton Football Club, and they booked me to do a set at it.
How'd that even come about?
Long story.
Yeah.
But like, it was just so random. And another one of them DJs that fucking was like, this guy is like, he was in the movie, and you're going, mate, why do people do this? It's because they don't know who you are, so they feel the need to try and big you up, and you're going, just don't. Just go Irish fella.
Yeah. You always get that, like, people being like, oh, this guy's been tour support for Frankie Boyle.
Back in the day, when they didn't know who you were.
Yeah. And
they were probably going, how the fuck's are 400 people in to see us? It's not, there was a charity night or there was a thing, you were booked to do it. So they always feel the need to big you up because they don't know who you are. Like, and they get your name wrong. They always get your name wrong. So
Paddy McConnell.
What do you want me to say? And you go, oh, not go where we're at. So they just don't know. Can I just say, if you're going to fucking book me, the very least you can do is get the name right.
Fuck, you've gotten very diva these days.
It's not diva.
Too big to have your name misspelled.
It's not diva. But would you like you to be fucking called William Boyce or fucking...
What's the price on it? I wouldn't give a fuck.
But that's the thing. It wasn't even good money.
Aye, fair.
It was one gig that I was driving fucking 2 hours for to do 20 minutes, and they couldn't get the name fucking right.
And the other person we were on with as well didn't get there in time, so I went from a 15-minute spot to doing about an hour.
The replacement for me?
Yeah, they didn't get one. I just did your spot.
Paddy McConnell was late, was he?
I did an hour. No, you were like just not announced to be there, but the other person who was on with us
was?
No, they weren't there in time. So it went from me, you, him to just me, and I did an hour.
So he didn't even turn up?
No.
Was it a he?
Yeah.
And he didn't turn up to do the set?
No, he didn't get there in time, no. So it was me doing an hour. It was fucking...
So Paddy McConnell was fucking shit
Yeah,
then?
Paddy McConnell. No, Paddy McConnell was great that day. Best that anyone had ever seen him, apparently. He was a lot smaller in real life, but... No, I ended up just doing all 3 slots that day.
Imagine if you just started doing an impression of him to do his 15 minutes.
I was tempted. I was tempted to.
I have done that before.
You've done impression of me, have you?
No, not of you, of another act who was meant to be here. I can't even remember who it was now, but do you know I did do somebody else's set as Lemons before?
Was it Johnny McCarthy?
No.
Did you get the wheelchair out?
Came out in the wheelchair, no. I was really, really good at it.
Alright, Bryson.
It was Cormac O'Donnell, Cookie.
I know Cookie, I.
So he used to do the Russian guy with the leather pants and
Igor?
the thing and the leather jacket.
Yeah.
I grew the moustache. We knew we were going to do this. So he had a show coming up in the Burnham, so he would sell out the fucking Burnham.
Actually, he was big, Cookie, I.
And so he says, would you come out as Igor? I'm not doing them. I've done new characters. So will you come out as Igor and do Igor? Because they're going to expect it. And I says, well, we'll have to say that I'm his cousin or something. So I went out and done his set as Igor.
Yeah.
In the whole gallop. And it was funny, like, there's footage of it somewhere.
Was not his wife's like, my wife is English cocksucking pig.
I came out, it was like, hello, how are you? I am Igor Bolshakirov.
Did it go well? Or
I did, like, it was a fucking gig with him that much. I knew the set.
off by heart? Yeah, I
Down
could,
to
like,
a
we
T.
could do each other's sets because we
Yes.
gig together
Yeah.
that much. So that's what, like, you would fuck someone by doing this, but I've always wanted to do it as an MC. I would never do it, but before you bring someone out,
There
just
was
do
a
like their
knack-
closer.
There was I haven't even spoke to you about this, but there was an act last week that was on TV and done a set. And if I showed you the set, you would look
I
at
know this story already.
you know it already.
I know it already. Word travels fast in the comedy industry, Patrick.
So I sent him a message and he didn't get back to me for like 2 days. And then he came back to me and went, oh, I done that 20 years ago.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I've been doing that joke for years.
And I was
That's
like,
an impression of the guy. I'm just not doing weird voices.
what do you do there? Like? But I mean, for bottom,
Yeah.
what I say, like, and I have seen this guy gigging for years, or verbatim if you want me to say it.
I was like, I'll let him away with one.
But
It's early in the morning. It's one of the, yeah, I know what you're talking about as well. And it's one of those, it's like, if you know, you can't just get common ground in comedy where two people have reached.
there's common ground,
same
and
bit.
then there's
The
like,
exact same.
holy fuck,
Yeah. Did you take it from him? Because he's been doing it 20 years.
I have.
You've been stealing?
Apparently so.
You-
The fucking thing about it was, I haven't. The only time I've actually watched him, like the only time, is in Edinburgh,
Yeah.
and that isn't.
Oh, he wouldn't do that. Because I've seen both of you do it. It never has occurred to me. That
So
it was the same
I had
bit.
never.
Yeah.
Technically, and I could tell you what I've seen him do, but I've never seen him do anything else.
Yeah. Now I know the joke that you are talking
So-
about, and it is a thing. It's like if you were coming to here, you would notice that too.
Oh, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
It's just mad that both is like, and I said, tell him, so in the message I was saying this, and I have this bit, and this bit, and this bit, and then this bit's in it.
Were you angry when you were?
No. Because I was sort of going to myself, how is it so? But no one has ever came to me and said, do you know such and such does that?
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
Which makes me go, why did no one even say, if other people say, did nobody go,
It's mad because I actually have seen both of you do it, and it never occurred to me until I heard that story. I went, oh fuck yeah, those bits are similar. Like that's.
and it can just be a similar
It
thing.
just yeah.
It
And
can just, if it's just
but the
so-
two of you don't overlap. Like you aren't on the same circuit.
but don't, but
just happens.
I've never been on the same bill as him.
Yeah. Do you remember the story? It was Kevin Bridges did a joke.
That was the
That
same
was
as Gaddis's.
literally. I'm not saying he took it because they wouldn't get, but it was the same joke where he doesn't do it anymore, so I can do the joke. They were talking about Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
And he went, how did they not know Jimmy Savile was a paedophile? If I had to draw you a paedophile, that's what I would draw. And they both had that exact same one. And it's one of those you're like, well, Bridges and Geddes have never gigged together. No. Just their minds have reached that same point.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
It
different
can
the
happen.
vibe.
It can happen. But it's just, it doesn't look good for me
Yeah.
because I ought to bit in. It's nothing to do with here.
Yeah.
So it just technically looks like, well, he must have.
And then you've contacted him being like, yo, you're taking my bit.
No,
He's
I
like,
didn't.
"Done
I
for
didn't.
years."
I didn't say that. In the message I sent him was basically, listen, I just seen you a bit. I do a bit that's exact same.
Yeah.
I've never seen you doing that bit.
Yeah.
I don't want there to be confusion here. I don't want you to come back and somebody to say, here, and then you've done this on TV and then I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I've been doing it years.
Have you ever caught anyone actually taking
Yeah.
a bit of yours?
Yeah.
Anything you can talk about or
No.
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 Same here. I was in the room, and I wasn't meant to be on that night when I
freaks
saw
you out.
someone do it.
It freaks you out. I remember the bit that I've done that other people had was I do the joke about and I don't know who owned it because everybody done it.
What
was
one?
about hard as an orange man, give a blowjob.
I think I did that one night after you told me it. I was like, because I
And
knew
I
it
think-
wasn't yours. I'm like,
I
I'm
think-
taking that.
Haggerty done it. Mickey done it. I've seen Shane do
My
it.
dad's told me that.
So I don't know if it was anybody's joke
It's one of
or
those
if it's,
common.
if
That's
it's
a
not
wee-
who's
Yeah.
are.
One of them on somebody's dad's made up.
Yeah, you call
yeah,
it's
yeah.
almost like public ownership of that joke because you're
Yeah.
like, do you know what I mean? It's not a bit. You should never make a bit about it. It's like
Yeah.
an offhand. You
It's,
said.
it's like the piece I have about she's only your cousin from the front. I mean, technically, I've seen other people do that,
Fucking
and that could be a thing. That's, do you know what I mean?
yeah. It's same as like you go to like.
But
a
I've
wee
seen it
town.
being done exactly in the place I'm talking about and the thing, so I just stopped doing it after it.
Right.
By a person, and I was like, that, like, I took an old thing and put it into an actual piece.
Yeah.
And then they took the piece, and I was like,
Oh, they took the whole routine.
yeah.
Right. That's,
Didn't know I was there. I wasn't on the bill that night, and I turned up to see somebody perform.
Yeah.
And they done it, and when they seen me, when they come off stage, they shit the brick, like.
I'll ask you off mic who
But
that is.
it's never been spoken about again,
Yeah.
and I don't think they've ever done it again.
Yeah. The one I caught was someone I'd gigged with multiple times, and it was I wasn't meant to be at the gig. I was just calling in, and this person was on stage, and it was my bit, and this is so my bit. Like, it was like word for word my routine of getting bullied, and I run home, and I come into my mum. That sounded weird.
And they said that bit.
They said that bit, and then went, and I said to my mum, who went, "Oh, don't worry, son," because my mum's a gay dude.
And they done that.
And
bit.
they done that bit. And like, see, when they did it, everyone who was in the bar just
Looked at
literally
you.
just did this. Like, looking at me, and I'm like, well, that's clearly my, like, it's my bit. And the person came off stage, saw me, and they went, "Oh, fuck, sorry, man, I think I did your bit there." And I was like, "Yeah, you did." Do you know what I mean? It was one of they admitted they'd done it.
Have they ever done it again?
I haven't,
you don't know?
I haven't seen it.
Do they still do comedy?
Yeah. So I hadn't, I'm not saying who it was.
I love the way you went, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying who it was.
Jake,
I'm-
to listen to the podcast?
No. But they saw that bit. They apologized to me the minute they came off stage, and everyone in the bar looked at me. So it wasn't even me being paranoid. It was everyone going,
Jesus
"They've
Christ,
just
didn't they?
taken your bit, and you have caught them out." What are we on there, Sean? Do you know?
47 minutes.
47 minutes. We'll have to do a wee Q&A. I've got the Patreon questions.
We'll do that in the Patreon.
Yeah, we'll do that in the Patreon. I
So
think,
thanks
while I
very
wrap
much
up.
for this week.
Yeah. What a sad closer. Me going, yeah, they stole my joke. See you next week, guys. Thank you.
Don't steal Willie's jokes.
I'll just write new and better ones.
Good
I'll do it.
shit.
Thank you very much, and head over to the Patreon for the Q&A. Anything to plug before we go?
Just the tour. Have the tour out, and
Flying?
Antrim's nearly sold out. I think there's one ticket left. So it's technically sold out. Newcastle has 20 tickets left.
Where's Antrim? What top of the time?
It's up there.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, walk into that. Motherfucker.
You fucking know, because you left me there with your mate one night.
I did.
And drove to Belfast and then came back again with the fucking maddest mate you ever fucking had in your life. You left me with him.
I'm so sorry about that.
So
I haven't tried to get the fuck away
Derry
from
has, and don't say where's Derry. Derry has 35 tickets left.
I hate
so
that banter.
it's all near being sold
See,
out.
when someone goes, see if you go Derry or Londonderry, I don't care which one you say, and then someone goes, "Where's that, mate?" You're like, "Oh, overdose, you cunt." So 30 tickets left in Derry.
Yeah, so the tour's flying.
Yeah.
So please get involved. Announcing UK tour this week.
Good man. I'm doing regional tour as well. So we've got Armagh, which is flying. Armagh's nearly gone, I think. We've got Derry. We have Omagh. And we've Newry. Fuck off. And we've Newry. And there's the Limelight show in Belfast in December.
Very good. And I have another waterfront that's nearly gone.
Nearly gone. Good
Yes.
man. Good man.
So thank you very much, folks. All the best.
See you next week.
Right.
Who was yours? The guy stole your joke. Who was it stole your joke?
I feel electric when you go. It's better than ever feeling anything at all. So why wait? This is fate. We are one, don't hesitate. I feel electric when you go. Nickel. Thank